Hello and welcome to 3.0 TV. This is Manoj Zara. So, we are at Money Expo 2022 and we have a very special guest and we will talk with him over the derivatives in the cryptocurrency market. Let me introduce you to Naman Sehgal, sir.
How are you?
Welcome on 3.0 TV.
Pleasure is all mine,
So,
sir.
so you are also a speaker at this conference and you are a founder and CEO of ZKX.
Yeah.
So, what this project is all about, if you can just take us through.
100%, 100%. So, ZKX is essentially a decentralized derivatives exchange, which is using ZK proofs, which is one of the latest cryptography technology, to make a very effective trading mechanism, gasless, particularly targeted at emerging markets, because we feel this is some of the largest markets that are totally under penetrated when it comes to derivative segments. Derivatives are extremely important because you already know a lot of value on spot markets. You know your centralized exchanges, the Binances, FTXs, CoinDCXs of the world. The important part is whenever you actually take spot positions, you need to have an underlying hedge against your positions, and that is what a derivative marketplace gives you. We feel that is extremely important for emerging market users where disposable incomes are less, but the volumes are extremely high. And we feel consumer safety is of utmost importance, especially when it comes to an ecosystem like ours, where trust needs to be really earned in these emerging markets and products.
You spoke about consumer safety. There is something which is happening in this cryptocurrency market, as far as the recent Binance and WazirX pat, which is ongoing, and there are a lot of eyebrows that are actually been following this development. So, what is your view on this overall Binance and WazirX pat?
100%. I'll give you an overall holistic view on how the ecosystem is really shaping up. So, innovation and regulation, they always are basically fighting each other out in any industry. Go 20 years back when e-commerce started off, credit cards weren't really there. It takes time to really come up with adoption. Right now, the industry is just too nascent and the regulation is too new to really see this. Now, in evolved economies, we've seen similar cycles. I'll give you an example of an emerging market like Vietnam, where the government had actually banned crypto, then they opened up, they created sandboxes, and now they're working on a CBDC, which is a central bank-backed digital currency. You're seeing a similar trend in India. It's just right now, it's too early to really say and determine how things are going to be. So I'd say be bullish in general, even in a bear market. But being bullish is the real thing over here. Because eventually the industry is just too big at this point to be not controlled and not be grown down the line. And that's how we look at it.
So, in short, what is the small crux which you have taken from this? What is the takeaway from this Binance WazirX thing which is actually happening?
So right now, I would say when essentially WazirX was really built, the idea was that they were built in an area where there was no regulation. Regulation came a little after. It's very difficult for any business to really scale up when there is no clarity on regulation. And that is, I think, something I would call it a series of really unfortunate events, to be very frank with you. And any business could really fall into this little trap where there is no clarity, but you're still extremely successful from a user perspective. Having said that, I really feel I would really, all my best is with Nishal and WazirX team. I've known them for quite a long time. I myself was a user as well of WazirX. I really feel centralized exchanges have opened up crypto for India and emerging markets, and they've ushered the way for technology over here. And I wish them, I really feel this will be sorted out eventually very soon. And we will have much clearer regulations for the benefit of the industry in general.
Hope this thing gets sorted out because there are roughly around 15 million customers' money is at stake.
Is at stake,
So
right.
since we are talking about derivatives, you spoke about derivatives, we spoke about Binance, WazirX. Moving forward, so what is your view on the overall cryptocurrency market? So how do you see this situation? Because we were discussing a short while back about the correlation between the stocks and the cryptocurrency market.
Cryptocurrencies, yes.
First is, what is your view on that? And what is the road ahead?
Sure. I'm going to answer this in two ways. I'm going to give you an institutional perspective and a retail perspective because I think it's extremely important to see both sides of the view. On the institutional side, what we're really seeing, we're seeing stress testing of markets. What basically means that lenders are pulling out funds from the markets, and this is really leaving a lot of companies cash strapped. And this is exactly what happens in a bear market, where a lot of the weak companies with weak unit economics, they just die out because there is no liquidity over there. And what we have seen right now is recovery is prolonged as more and more debt companies show up, but there is still a positive sentiment. I just came back from Paris, where we had one of the largest Ethereum conferences, and it's the same narrative that is there. The right companies with sound unit economics are always built in bear markets. Look at Coinbase, look at all of the biggest ones in the world right now. From a retail perspective, I would say retail users in the West are way more concerned because of larger macroeconomic factors, which are also driven by the war in Europe and gas prices and various other things. We in India are relatively safe, I would say, compared to how things are back then over there. And that is why the market sentiment retail-wise is much clearer. Yes, we've been spooked by what happened to WazirX, which is as natural as anyone would be. I would expect the same, really. But then, are we really spooked to the point where the industry is going to die? I really don't think so. It's just a matter of time where regulation comes in, things get resolved, and it'll be business as usual, really. And I'm extremely bullish in general, I would say.
So that is the most important keyword which I have picked off from the conversation. The points which you just mentioned is we are just bullish. So moving on, you mentioned about Ethereum. You had attended the conference. What are the takeaway? What is your view on the Ethereum 2.0, and what is the way forward for the Ethereum?
Sure. So right now, what is happening and I'll also take a technology angle over here. So you have the Ethereum chain, but you also have something called layer 2s, or the next level of Ethereum, where most technology is being built. One of the largest problems with any blockchain, Ethereum as well, is the gas fees, which is really one of the biggest triggers for user transactions. You transfer $1,000, $100 in gas needs to be deducted from that. The new technology, which is basically the layer 2 rollups, ZK technology, that what we also use, it is gasless. What it basically means that there is sound unit economics. It will not kill you to deposit $100 or $1,000. It's gasless. It's as simple as that.
Fantastic.
And that really makes a massive difference because it opens it up to retail users for actually using these apps, making them real world practical.
So, what's your view about the Web3 space? You know, there is a lot of things that are happening. Couple of days back we spoke with Mr. Ravikant Agarwal of Polygon. He was super bullish on this sector. There are a lot of projects which they have rolled out. Yeah. What is the view on the overall sector?
100%. So Polygon is a perfect poster child of Web3 growth in India. I think Polygon is the perfect poster child. The reality is that Polygon is also, just like most technology blockchains, they're also in an inorganic growth spurt where they're actually acquiring a lot of ZK companies, which is zero knowledge proof, which is the next level of technology. Because inherently, blockchains are not sustainably built, or they're very clunky, because they weren't built for large user-based projects as we are seeing right now. And the important part over here is this new technology is the way to usher growth and create apps and ecosystem that could actually cater to millions of users at the same time, making them real world efficient. And I think that's why they're extremely bullish in general, and so are we. The technology is just starting to be built. This is literally the 2000 or the 1999 as we had seen during the last Web 2 evolution. This is what it is for crypto right now. We're just too early right now, and things are just getting hot, which is going to be amazing.
Fantastic. As you have given a very bullish outlook on the Web3 space as well, what is your view on the overall situation that is happening? Point number one, and how important a role, what importance will blockchain have in this total scenario, and what is the road ahead?
100%. So in general, if I talk about recovery, I don't think we should expect like a post-pandemic hockey stick sort of recovery, because that was a black swan event. As you saw, the pandemic hit, both fiat and crypto markets went down, and suddenly there was a massive pump up. It won't happen like that. It's going to be extremely slow recovery over the next 4 to 6 quarters, and eventually the bull run is going to really start. And as we call in crypto, a bear market is basically a builder's market. This is where most of technology is built and it's deployed in the bull run. And that is how I really see the evolution of things happening right now.
All right, one last question before we let you go is, what is the importance and relevance of education in this field, since you are working in this derivative segment as well? So how do you see this education space evolving as far as the blockchain technology is concerned?
100%. I'll also especially talk about the brain drain that we're really seeing in Web3, which is also massive. So India has always been a massive player in terms of providing developer talent to the world. We've already done it so many times in the past. This is again what we're seeing, the Web3 evolution happening. We're seeing builder communities coming up out of massive IIT. IIT Bombay is a massive hub. Most of the founders of the centralized exchanges also are from there. So technology and interests within the student segment, which is the base layer, is massive already. We are doing developer conferences right now across the world, and we're seeing massive Indian participation in general. The other angle, I would say, the importance of education is extremely important, because what we're really creating right now is not just a new internet, but a new way of trading and a new way of really making money. And we need to understand the risks, and we understand the rewards, and understand the right kind of strategies that are going to be employed over here. And education is going to play the role. We're making a derivatives exchange. I've been talking to so many people over here, and barely anybody has actually used a derivative in crypto, while it is one of the most important instruments to actually hedge your overall protection. So we feel education is at a much nascent stage, and what you guys are doing, this is an amazing, amazing initiative, because I feel for a growing industry, education is one of the major linchpins to really get the wheel rolling. That's how I really feel in general.
Wish you all the best, Naman, for your derivative exchange, and we hope that this crypto market recovers while the market is actually bullish. Thank you so much, Chief. Thank you so much for talking to us.
All right.